Hello everybody, this is Colonel S and welcome to another episode of Colonel S Redstone Academy. Today we are going to be looking at the infamous comparator. This is one of the most complex components in Minecraft and many people do not understand them, so that is what I'm going to be talking about today. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more of my videos, make sure you subscribe. It's completely free and it helps out a ton. Also, leave a like on the video and comment below what you would like to see me do next. Now, onto the video. The comparator in Minecraft has three main functions: comparing, subtracting, and measuring containers. We are going to start by looking at the first of those three, comparing. A comparator can take inputs from three places: the back and both of the sides. When the comparator is powered from the back, it will output the exact same signal strength that it is powered with. So as you can see, this is a signal strength of 15, and this is a signal strength of 15. But if I move this lever back 2, you'll see that this is now a signal strength of 13, and this is the exact same signal strength. When the side inputs are added in, it will start comparing the signal strengths. If the signal strength on either side of the comparator is greater than the signal strength coming in from the back, there will be no output. So right now, we have this as a signal strength of 13 right here, coming out as a signal strength of 13. But if we turn this redstone dust on, since it will become a signal strength of 15, this comparator will turn off because this is greater than this. The next function that we are going to look at is subtracting. So to turn a comparator into subtract mode, all you have to do is right-click it, and this torch right here will turn on. That means it is in subtract mode. Once in subtract mode, the comparator will subtract the side input from the back input. So, for example, if we have a signal strength of 15 in the back, and we have a signal strength of 13 in the side, it will give off a signal strength of 2, because 15 minus 13 is 2. To better explain the subtract mode of the comparator, I built up this example here. So on these signs, we have exactly how much signal strength we would be powering the comparator with if we were to put a lever right next to it, and we have the exact same thing on the side input as well. So if we were to come over here and put the lever next to 8, we would be powering the back of the comparator with a signal strength of 8, and since there is no power coming from this side, it is giving out a signal strength of 8. But if we were to come over here and power this redstone line with, say, a signal strength of 6, it will then subtract this from this, giving out only a signal strength of 2. We can do this with any number combination we want. If I were to come over here and, say, put in 13 in the back, and then maybe 9 on the side, it will come out as 1, 2, 3, 4, because 13 minus 9 is equal to 4. The third and final function of a comparator is measuring containers. If a container is placed behind a comparator, the comparator will give off a signal strength based on how much is inside the container. As you can see, if I put one item inside this chest, the comparator will give off a signal strength of 1. But if I put more items inside the chest, the comparator will give off a much higher signal strength. Now that we have covered the main functions of the comparator, we are going to look at some of the circuits you can make with a comparator. This circuit we have right here is a pulse extender, also known as an ABBA gate. The pulse extender does pretty much exactly what it sounds like it does. It extends the pulse, so if I were to push this button here, after the button turns off, this pulse stays on much longer. How this works is pretty simple. This redstone dust is powered, and then the exact same signal strength is outputted to this, which then loses a signal strength, and then loops back around again until it reaches here. Then it loses another signal strength, and then it keeps looping and looping and looping until it has no signal strength left. You can see this as it dies down. It slowly loops around and then turns off. Pulse extenders can be very useful for things like piston doors. This is what this would look like without a pulse extender. As you can see, it closes again very, very quickly. But with a pulse extender, the door will stay open for much, much longer, giving you plenty of time to walk through. The next circuit we are going to look at is a comparator clock. The comparator clock is a simple circuit that utilizes the subtract mode of the comparator. If we set up a comparator like this, with redstone running into its side from its output, and put a power source behind it, it will turn into a super fast redstone clock. How this works is pretty simple. We are inputting a signal strength of 15, so that means it will output a signal strength of 15 here, 14 here, and then 13 here. This 13 is then going to subtract into this 15, meaning that it will output a signal strength of 2, which means this will be 1 and this will be 0. But since this is 0, there is no longer anything subtracting into the 15, meaning that this will be 15 again, and the cycle continues, which turns it into a super fast redstone clock as we see here. Next, we are going to look at the auto dropper system. The auto dropper is basically just a redstone clock that turns on only when this dropper has items in it. So, as you can see, if I put items inside the dropper, it begins to spit all of them out, but when I take all these items out of the dropper, nothing is happening. The redstone clock is off, and you don't get the annoying ticking of a dropper. The way that this system works is the comparator takes an output from the dropper, puts it into this block, into this redstone dust, into this block, into this repeater, and then into this redstone dust. Since this redstone dust is on the output of a repeater, it will always be a signal strength of 15, meaning that it will always subtract with this into a signal strength of 0. So basically this gives out a signal, and then it doesn't give out a signal, meaning it will then again give out a signal. And this loops around until there is no signal to be given out by the dropper. This part over here is just how the dropper is being powered. When this gives out a signal, it powers this redstone dust, which powers this repeater, which powers the dropper through this block. So, as you can see, when we put items in, the comparator is turning on and off as the system loops through, and then this is turning on and off as well. Finally, we are going to look at the item filter. The item filter is a circuit that only allows one type of item to pass into a hopper. In this situation, it is redstone dust, so if I throw the redstone dust into this hopper, it will be accepted by the hopper, but if I throw this block of wool, it will not. It will just sit there because the hopper cannot accept that item. How this system works is pretty simple. This hopper here has exactly enough items in it for this comparator to output a signal strength of 2, but when we throw one more item in it, the signal strength goes up to 3, as you can see right there. When the signal strength goes up to 3, it then powers this block, then this repeater, and then this torch briefly turns off, meaning that this hopper will take the item out and move it into this hopper down here. One of the most common uses of the item filter is having a massive automatically sorted storage system. So over here we have our item filters in the back, and if we just put in some stuff into this auto dropper here, like redstone comparators and repeaters, you'll see that they'll all get accepted by their respective hoppers. So as you can see down here, we have our redstone going into this chest, we have our comparators going into this chest, and we have our repeaters going into this chest. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and comment below what you would like to see me do next. See you in the next video.